Hello everyone, my name is Kawatsuriki, and in this video I'm going to teach you how to fix the sound issue, which is very common by the way, in the Panasonic Attune 2 base station. This is a hardware problem. It's not something like setup problem. After you have already done all, you go through my other videos, see how to adjust the volume, this and that. And after you did that, you still don't have any sound, then you have a bad sound chip. And the sound chip is a small little chip. Let me show you. This is how small it is. It's a very small chip. I'm going to show you with different cameras. And that's the cause. Okay, so let's get started. This is the unit, and as I said, this is the little sound chip. This is the extra one I had. This is also used, but it's working. First we have to open it. In order to open it, we have the following screws: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, now this is not a very common screw. It's a star-shaped screw. In addition to it being a star-shaped screw, it also has a little hole in the center. So let me zoom in and tell you what I mean. There it is. As you can see, it's a star-shaped screw. A star-shaped screwdriver tip with a hole in the middle, because the screws have a little round block in the center, which requires that hole to allow it to spin. And the size of this guy is, let's see what size it is. Okay, so I'm gonna find out what the size is, because it's not, this is for the first time I've seen that they haven't written the size on it, but I will give that to you in a minute. Okay, so let's zoom out and start taking this apart. In order to take it apart, you can do it with a manual screwdriver or electric screwdriver, but it's very easy. Even with manual, watch how easy it is. You don't even, using the electric screwdriver bits, you could do it manually. That's how easy the screws are to open. It basically doesn't need any pressure or anything. Okay. Alright, let's see. Okay, all the screws are now open, and we see this little tab. You have to push it in to release this, and voila. This is the memory card holder. Memory card door. And we have to take out the screws, not lose the screws. If my screwdriver would have been magnetic, then I didn't have to worry about this. Since it wasn't magnetic, I have to manually extract the screws and set them aside so I can find them when I'm ready to put it back together. So for now, I put all the screws there. Now if you look at this board right here, this is your audio amplifier. Now it's time to zoom in. This right here. And this is what we need to remove. Now, by looking at it, you would say that has a lot of pins. How are we going to remove it? That's easy. All you have to do is heat and soldering iron. Hot air and soldering iron. Now, keep in mind that this guy, this IC chip, has a heatsink at the bottom Let me put it right next to that so you can see. It has a heat sink at the bottom, and this heat sink is soldered to the board. So you have to provide substantial amount of heat, not only to disengage the chip, but to melt this at the bottom. Okay, let's get started. What we want to do is we want to see where is the pin 1. You see the pin 1 is right here, and there's the little white dot showing pin 1, and that's how the orientation the new chip is going to go in there. In order to prevent from the hot air to melt the adjacent components, which are equally important and critical, what we need to do is to cover them, and I'm going to show you how. So you see, this is a very high temperature fiberglass tape. You buy these, you can buy this on Amazon or eBay. Just get a little piece, fiberglass high temperature tape. Bend it and make a little square, like bend it, fold it in four, like make 4 corners, fold it like that. Now what you need to do is see how much, what's the size of the chip, and that's how much you're going to look at. That 1/4 of the chip, 1/4 of the chip, and that's right here, and that's where you are going to cut and make a little square or rectangular hole. Okay, so the hole is a little too small. I'm gonna make it a little bigger because you need to be able to heat up larger area in order to get a good grip. And there you go, that's much better. Let me show you back from the top. That's much better. So now I'm going to put this tape. This is not only protective for the rest of the components, it also holds them in place in case they get too hot and their solderings melt. You know, everything is attached here with solder, so if their soldering melts and they get too hot, this is the way to protect them, you know, so they don't move from its location. You could also like make 4 strips of tape and simply put it this way, that way, and that way, like this. Like you could do it like this too. You know, there are more than one way to do it. So now this is the magic solution. You see this NC19130C. Let me put it in a different camera. This solution right here, this solution allows multiple pins to melt at once without burning the chip. And it prevents from buildup of solder bridges. Look how I put the solution. Okay, now see this right here. This is called a heat gun. Yeah, this is heat gun. So apply heat with this and pull it up with a needle or any prying device. I'm going to be using a needle. So let's start. So put the heat at maximum with low wind. You don't want too much wind because too much wind will blow stuff away, components away. What I mean by blow stuff is blow components away. So use like moderate amount of wind, air pressure. this is the burnt chip, so even if it gets destroyed, I'm okay, but not the new one. Did you see what I was talking about the bottom there? So the chip has been removed. Let me turn off this. Okay, so when you turn off the hot air machine, it continues to make some sound because it has to cool off its internal components. It cannot just suddenly shut down. Alright, that's my defective chip right there. Now I no longer need this, so I safely remove this. I use a little bit of this solution to clean up the area. See how the thing got so hot, the chip got so hot that even burned the PCB. Now that heat is not from my heat gun. That's long ago, because the heat gun doesn't generate that much heat. You don't allow the heat gun to be that hot to burn the chip. This was under the chip, so to burn the motherboard. This was under the chip, so the heat gun, if my heat gun would have been that hot, it would have burned the areas that were open, not underneath. Okay, so now we are going to clean up. Let's do some cleanup. Clean up the mess. For that, we need regular soldering iron. Just use 650 degrees. 650 degrees, regular soldering iron. So here is our replacement board, replacement chip. That's the replacement chip. Okay, so as you notice, I just soldered that upper right corner, solder bridges. Prevention of solder bridge is so important. I can never emphasize enough. So now I'm gonna put just a little bit solder here and go across solder bridges. Now I'm gonna start on the other side. So I did both sides. Now is the time to inspect. So soldering is done on both edges. Now we will use isopropyl alcohol 91%. Do not use anything less than 91% because it has too much water content to clean it. I'm using an electric toothbrush. Okay, so now let's zoom in and see what's going on. Okay, as you can see, cleanup was successful. It looks beautiful. what's wrong with this camera. The focus is going in and out. So cleanup was very nice. It looks nice and clean, beautiful. And now it's the moment of truth to test this puppy and make sure this works. Okay? Alright, let's start the testing procedure. Now, in order to test it, obviously we have to put it back together. So let's zoom out and do that putting back together ritual. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna first test it, because if it doesn't work, then I'm gonna have to butcher with it further instead of putting it back together. So let's test it. The good thing about these base stations, it takes regular AC voltage. You don't need an adapter. Okay. Okay, it's powered up. And let's see. Bingo, the unit is on. Is that good enough? No, of course not. We didn't have sound. The unit would come on before too. So we will hook up a speaker. Okay, so I connected the speaker and the microphone, and it's working now. Hello. One, two, three. It's working great. I have sound, and the operation was successful. Let me turn this off. So yeah, this is, I mean, it's quite time consuming and involved, but we had success at the end. Alright. And by the way, in case you're wondering where the background noise was coming from, look at that guy. He's trying to fall asleep, and when cats try to fall asleep, they try to, you know, create a good cushion for them. And that guy is trying to fall asleep. Anyways, so I'm gonna put in the description, I'm gonna put the size of the screwdriver and the model number of the heat gun. I mean the hot air, I shouldn't say heat gun, hot air desoldering station. And that's basically the two tools that I use. The soldering iron is something you already, I'm sure you have that if you're attempting to do this. So yeah, thank you for watching. Please make sure to like and subscribe.